A gracious good morning to you, fervent viewers of my Media Prime Television. It's time for Prime Flash. I am Dolly Ngonde on the anchor. Let's begin today's edition with a story from the Southwest region, where a law enforcement officer who has been beaten to near death in Boya, Southwest region of Cameroon, after he opened fire on a car, killing a schoolgirl. And locals say the officer opened fire on the car after the driver, the little girl's father, refused to give him a bribe of 5,000 francs CFA. At the moment, security forces have flooded the scene as investigations spike up towards that effect. In the following excerpt, we get mourners grieving the loss of the girl.
Hi! Which can this? Hi! Papa God! Why you kill this kid? For what? For what? 500. For what? 500 francs. For what? For what?
Like they say, wonder shall never end. In the same light, well, we now take you to another similar story where Pelagie, a woman of about 40 years old in Kome, a neighborhood in Betwa, commits suicide after discovering her husband named Romeo and her 19-year-old daughter, Mavel, having carnal knowledge. Unable to withstand the shock, Pelagie decides to take away her life by consuming a great quantity of hard drugs. Locals had also whispered that the act had been a routine between the father and the daughter, and add that on no account did the girl raise concerns of sexual abuse. The situation as of now is in the hands of the police for more investigations. Still on a sad page, a civilian has been killed by bandits in Yaoundé during the early hours of Tuesday morning this week, where a businessman is said to have been murdered by a gang of 6 hoodlums. The missed target was from a journey about boarding a bike to his house situated at the Foko Emana neighborhood in the capital city before being met with the sad fate. Elements of the 6th District Police Station were immediately alerted, and so far they've succeeded in arresting 3 out of the 6 suspects, who are expected to reveal the identities of the others who are still on the run. Meanwhile, the Center for Human Rights and Democracy in Africa, CEDRICK, has released a statement chronicling the ordeal of an 8-month-old pregnant Antoinette Kongsa, arrested by Chief Moja and security forces in Boya days ago. The Human Rights Center has pledged to provide legal support to the detained, who continues to profess her innocence and non-involvement with her ex-boyfriend turned separatist fighters, General No Pity. And on to something developmental. Let's now talk the 2021-2022 school year, which has been officially launched in Kumba, in the subdivision of that area. And the event took place at the Kumba 2 City Council, witnessed great dignitaries, amongst others, as Sidwan tells us all the way from Kumba in the following report.
The massive turnout of parents, teachers, traditional title holders, municipal authorities and pupils on Friday 8 October 2021 marked the launching of the academic year 2021-2022 in Kumba 2 subdivision.
The conditions should be favorable for our children to go to school.
Addressing the population, the Inspector of Basic Education for the subdivision, Mr. Ebako Ivo Matuke, stated that the last academic year was successful, though with elements of the socio-political crisis still visible, which was a major obstacle to the smooth and excellent academic process in his subdivision.
We're supposed to have launched the academic year since before now. We are 1 month away from school because of the crisis. My greatest worry in academic issues in Kumba 2 subdivision is the crisis. However, we are on and we are back
Launching under the theme Modernization and Resilience of the Education and Independent Learning Ways and Means of the Operationalization at the Center of Development Services, the inspector also appealed that parents should take full responsibility and cooperate with the educational sector to ensure their children receive the best of education.
We only pray, as the GO said, that the parents should be able to take their responsibilities to take these children to school in the morning and come in the afternoon and take them back home, knowing fully well the situation at hand.
Presiding over the launching, the divisional officer for Kumba 2 subdivision, Mr. Edwin Kenyangwana, assured parents on the dispositions put in place in schools to fight against the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic.
All dispositions have been taken to accommodate these children in schools. The school year is starting at a moment when the third wave of the COVID-19 is on a rise. But then, as far as our schools are concerned, we are fully implementing the barrier measures put in place by government to fight against the spread of the COVID-19.
Going by the massive attendance and respecting the rights of children to education, there are hopes that if the COVID-19 crisis is well managed, the current academic year in Kumba 2 will be better as school authorities, parents and the population are set to give maximum collaboration for an effective school year.
We now take you to the North region where the Prime Minister, Chief of Government, Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Diongute enters day 2 of his working visit to Garua as he was received by an enthusiastic crowd yesterday at the Garua International Airport. The mass of people dived into celebration, chanting songs, drumming and playing trumpets as the Prime Minister made his first official visit to the region yesterday. According to the Prime Minister's program, he is due to he will lay the foundation stone for the construction of the clinker and cement production line in Figil, North region of Cameroon. Meanwhile, as part of his Meet the People tour, His Royal Majesty Fon Njinda II of the Mukuru Fondom has met with his subjects recently here in Douala. Discussions during the meeting have centered around the being or the unity of the people, which he has promoted or encouraged them to extend to their various fondoms. In the following report, Charles Kebwa tells us more.
His Majesty Fon Njinda II, ruler of the Mukuru Fondom in Menchum Valley Subdivision, Menchum Division of Northwest, was Saturday, October 9, 2021, accorded a royal hilarious welcome in the littoral region by sons and daughters of Mukuru as he begins his nationwide Meet the People's tour, barely few months after his coronation taking over from Fon Foto Athanasius Angi, who ruled Mukuru village for the past 42 years. Accompanied by other chiefs of the clan subdivision, appreciating a large number of his subjects that turned out to accord him an entourage the royal welcome, Fon Njinda II of Mukuru called on his people to harness collective efforts as a strong force, contribute to the development of Mukuru village, thus create a legacy for posterity. He advised his people to avoid working in splinter and fragments, for it will not help their development. The elites, through various speakers, took firm commitments to ensure their children go to school and to encourage those in the bushes drop their guns, get to farm, regain society, revamp their economy and enhance the development of Mukuru and the subdivision. It should be noted, Mukuru is a second-class fondom in Menchum Valley subdivision. The fund's nationwide tour is to acquaint himself with his people and to galvanize the old and youth for a new Mukuru fondom where everyone lives in peace and harmony. His next stop over is Bamenda.
Meantime, traffic has resumed on the Douala-Yaoundé Highway this Thursday, October 14, 2021. This is the aftermath of the suspension of the strike action by the Transport Union. Traffic was blocked yesterday, Wednesday, October 13, 2021 on the Douala-Yaoundé Highway towards the bridge over the Dzibamba. Some heavy-duty trucks Some heavy-duty truck drivers used the trucks to block the road. The strike action was a logical follow-up to a letter addressed to Gregoire Owana, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, on the suspension of work from October 13, 2021. This, according to the truck drivers, is due to the deplorable conditions of road transport workers. And on our health page, the month of October is set aside to raise awareness about the impact of breast cancer. And in Cameroon, October 13th has been observed as the national day, or nationwide as the No Bra Day, in which women have been encouraged to go about without wearing breast wears. Health reporter Bekongo Wadi tells us how the day was celebrated yesterday.
Commemorated yearly since October 13, 2014, World No Bra Day urges women worldwide to forego wearing a bra in a bid to support breast cancer sufferers, survivors, as well as take out time to give themselves a self-breast examination in a bid to fight against breast cancer. Occurring mostly in women, breast cancer is the world's most prevalent type of cancer and the leading cause of cancer-related deaths in women aged 50 years and older worldwide. However, breast cancer in women can occur or happen at any age. On World No Bra Day, women across the globe seek to reduce mortality and prevalence on breast cancer, which is estimated to be 7.8 million breast cancer diagnoses and 685,000 deaths as of 2020. Although it's seen as a controversial event in the eyes of many, World No Bra Day aims to raise awareness regarding breast cancer, the signs and symptoms to watch out for, causes, prevention, as well as applaud and encourage the effort of breast cancer sufferers, caregivers, and health personnel for not giving up. The day also seeks to inspire and give hope to women who have lost a breast to breast cancer worldwide.
And out of Cameroon, Manston Wanjala, child killer, has escaped Kenyan police custody. The man who confessed to have killed more than 10 children in Kenya has vanished out of a police cell in Nairobi, Kenya. He was due to appear in court yesterday over the murder of at least 14 boys in the capital and other parts of eastern and western Kenya. Police say they noticed he had escaped or disappeared during the morning roll call. He was being detained during police investigations into the series of child killings that shocked the entire nation of Nairobi. And moving on to Liberia, a Liberian motorcycle taxi rider has become a nation hero after he found and returned the sum of $50,000 that had gone missing from a prominent businesswoman in northeastern Nimba County on the border of Ivory Coast. The young man, Emmanuel Tolwe, saw the money wrapped in a plastic bag on a highway and heard the owner, Musa Yansi, desperately making a radio announcement appealing to anyone coming across the cash. He then let her know he had found it in the presence of local authorities. And away from the African continent, 5 people have been killed and 2 more injured in Norway after a man used a bow and arrow to attack them. Police first received word of an attack in the town of Kongsberg, southwest of the capital Oslo, at 6:13 local time. And a Danish man aged 37 has been arrested on suspicion of carrying out the attack. Police believe he acted alone and will be investigating whether it was an act of terrorism or not. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this edition of Prime Flash. I have been DOLLY NGONDE for presentation. EWANE and NOLINGA produced the program. Up next is In the House with Eileen Sama. Stay glued to your TV screens and your various devices as we bring you more interesting program on the African Eye.